Okay, folks, so welcome to Adobe Portfolio basic step-by-step instructions on how to achieve a portfolio website. Starter task I've given you was to look at an existing portfolio website, my portfolio website, because you were subscribed to Adobe Express and Adobe Creative Cloud through the college. You get access to all of the facilities and all of the apps, including Adobe Portfolio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the basic kind of setup of what we can do. I'm going to give you either a link to access your apps online, or you can simply Google Adobe Portfolio and log in the same way using your college username and password. So you can log in exactly the same way. So I will make sure that you have access to the application. You won't see this because this is obviously my portfolio websites I've set up already. You will see something more like this, where it says new site. You can create up to 5 sites. All you're simply going to do is to click on that point, and then it gives you the first page, which is essentially a series of themes that you can select for your website. And you can change the themes at any point, even when you've got an established website and information and content is in place. You can still change the theme. So you can change the theme, but I suppose the limitation is the structure of these themes, but actually within the limitation of the structure, you can generate your own ideas and content. You can put colored backgrounds in, you can put animated backgrounds. There's lots you can do. So let's just select one of these. Matthias, maybe I'll go to Matthias, and you just click it once and it should open. So it gives you an example of what it is, how it works. You can see that when you move your mouse over, you have these additional screens, additional images as you brush over. And then you've got on the left hand side, you've got the index or kind of menu, and then your main logo there. So you can see that you've got all of these. So that's fine. So just go to the top right hand corner, click use this theme. Wonderful. And Adobe. So what has essentially happened here is that we've got this existing website, but what I wanted to do is to create a new website. So this is my information, my artwork that's been inputted into this. So bear with me. As you can see, you've got pages. So these tiles are called pages, and you can edit and change the content of all of this detail. So if I go to all your menus on the left-hand side, so you have pages, themes, background color, and I'll go through all of this with you. So if I go to pages, first of all, and what I can do is I want to start from scratch. So I'm just going to go through, and you can see that how intuitive this is. I'm literally clicking on each page that I have already, and you can just very simply delete them. So you can manage your website really effectively. And you're going to be using your website for the words and pictures project. So I think I'll leave it there. If I go back, now you can see that you have all of these spaces available to you. So this is the essential structure of the web facility. You've got obviously logo, which you can click on and you can change there. This can be changed. So everything more or less within reason is editable within this website. And again, it's a 6-week project, so the function of this website is to be a gallery archive, a website gallery archive where where any artwork you produce with me, any digital artwork you produce with me, we can place into this website, and we can obviously assess it and give you feedback as we're progressing through this process. You'll submit it as you'll submit your Adobe Express. Now you will retain Adobe Express as we go through words and pictures, And that website will obviously contain critical reflection, analysis, artist research, and some examples of artwork. But we're going to use the portfolio for the kind of highlights of the work and also some experimentation. But initially, let's just set it up for words and pictures. So if I just go back, so again, we've got a blank site, which you should have. If I go to pages, again, you can see that. But the simplest way of adding a page is simply, again, intuitively going to the main page, clicking add page, and then page, add a custom subpage into a collection grid or Lightroom album. So it's just add a page. Destination is really important. We want it to be part of work. So destination should be part of work. That should, in theory, be an automatic process. So this one I'm going to call Blender Motion Graphics, because we will be working with Blender 3D modeling software to generate some artwork, certainly some text-based artwork, but we'll be looking at different examples. So let's do that first of all. So once you click create, it will take you to the page. At this point in time, apart from checking the spelling, which is absolutely key, you don't need to do anything else. You can just go back to pages, click on work, or you can just click on work there. And you can see that there's nothing really going on with that page apart from there's a rollover. So it's blank and then you roll over and it's Blender Motion Graphics. So let's create the next page, add page, and then put the title in. So let's say 3D construction, or maybe 3D constructed text. So for Martin's work in the 3D workshop, this is where you can place those images. And again, as an archive, you press OK, it'll take you to the page. That's all absolutely fine. You can just literally go back to work, click on work, and you have 2 pages. Don't worry about cover images yet. You just have those 2 pages constructed. And you can see when it's shifted. That's the most recent page you've created, so it's shifted it to the left. So it's in chronological order. So next, add another page, going through the same process. So this could be ceramics, artwork. So you can see that we can, all of the tutors that are working with you, all of the skills that you're being delivered to, those images from those workshops and from those projects can certainly be placed into this portfolio. So again, we make sure its destination is work and then just create a page. It takes you to the main page and that's fine. Again, check spelling and then back, and then that's okay. So we're just going to keep going. So we've got ceramics, 3D constructed text, Blender, and let's just do one more. Let's do illustration. So this is Adobe Illustrator experimentation. That's fine. Create page. And we cycle through the same process. That's fine. Adobe Illustration experimentation. Okay, so now you can see that you have these 4 pages. That's absolutely great. And also the corresponding pages have appeared on your menu bar, which is helpful. So the next basic thing we can do is background and colors. So again, under site wide, which is the menu title on the left hand side, click on background and colors, and you can upload an image. So for example, if I go to upload, give it a few moments, and if I find just an image, these are random images on currently sitting on my desktop. Yeah, we can potentially just go with that. Let me have a look at what this is. Okay, let's go with this. So this is an abstract artwork sample. So I'm just selecting the image, pressed OK, and Adobe Portfolio will position that image across the background, which you shall see shortly, as long as my Wi-Fi is working effectively. So that's giving you a preview there. So again, you can see, and you have options here. So I can make this, potentially make it bigger. So I can make it smaller. If I click on image options, you can repeat across the page. You can cover as much no repeat, and cover as much content area as possible. So again, you can see that it's giving you a preview. There's my background image. It looks pretty good apart from I can't see the text, the menu bar very well. So you need to consider the type of image you're putting in as a backdrop and how that works in the context of the information you have, because you don't want the information to be completely hidden under an image which is the same color, for example, as the text. So let's just go back to background, and we can simply remove background, but we can add a color. So in clicking include background color, and then you get the familiar color menu, and you can obviously very quickly place a color in here. Now we can change the color of the text under the menu. That's easily done. Black sometimes works, so you can choose, and you can change the color as many times as you want to. And now we have the ability just to slide through the colors, so you can find an effective color. I might go with black at this stage, because then you can see that these images are just appearing quite nicely, quite effectively across there. Now they're hidden, and then when you move your mouse along, now that can be quite exciting, quite interesting. So let's just go back. So you can, again, you're navigating back, so it's intuitive, as is it's intuitive in the same way that Premiere Pro is After Effects, Photoshop, and Illustrator. So I'm clicking on logo. So by clicking on sections, you can obviously change certain details. So I clicked on logo, and you can see that the menu has appeared on the left-hand side. Now I'm hoping I can change the color of that logo, so you can immediately change the color. You can change the alignment as well, and you can, this is potentially scale, so that's scale as well, and that might be, yeah, so that's just positioning, which we don't need to concern ourselves with. Press Command Z. There we go, that's fine. Okay, so let's just have a quick look. So I've got a website that's the beginnings of something. I'm relatively happy. And again, by clicking on the blue panels and twirling that open, you can then see you've got more information on here. So for example, edit page information. If I click on that, you should be able to change certain details. So let's just go back. Let's click on page again. Edit cover image. Again, you can change the cover image on there. Let's just go back again. Edit page content. So again, this is the actual page content, so you can change this as well. So it will take some work to navigate the options, to work out exactly what you want to do and how to do it, and that's part of what this process is about. Initially, it's just about adding pages with the correct titles, and then thinking about a color background or an image background and the basics at that point in time. But there is more we can do. So I want to see what my website looks like on the web. And again, easily you do that by coming down to the left-hand side, clicking Publish Site, and it will give you the option of viewing your site. That is currently my email address, my website address. View your site, and that's the live site. That's what it looks like on the internet currently. And obviously there's no content in any of these pages. So if I click on that one, there's no content. And obviously, again, as part of the problem solving, I need to change the color of my titles because they blend in. Okay, so you can just go back. It's opened a new tab, so you can just close that tab, go back to that tab, and then go back to pages. And that is absolutely fine. So if I click on this page header, edit page info. Okay, that's fine. Go back. So customize. Now, this is where you have to dig a little, because you should be able to change the color of the titles. And that might take some digging. Edit page info. There is absolutely is a way of doing that, and that's something we'll cover at a later date, but there is definitely a way of doing that. Let's just, often it's looking on the left hand side at the wider, so site wide options, so website container, what else have we got? Logo's fine, navigation, page titles. Okay, so page titles, let's see if this makes any difference. Okay, so that's obviously, page titles is obviously that colored there, so that's fine. So website container, site caption, logo container. So you can see that there's lots of sub containers and information to look at. And there are just lots and lots of options that we can work through, which is absolutely fine. Okay, so ultimately at this stage, this video really is just about setting up the basic structure where you have a website that you can see. You've changed the color according to a color that you want to use. Obviously, you need to think about usability, and what you see is what you get to a certain extent. But you don't need to think about any of the coding. It's purely a design process that I think is really effective, and we can make lots of changes. But we'll be making lots of changes probably during one-to-one tutorials when you come across an issue or a problem or a question that needs more of a bespoke answer. Okay, but again, we'll be using this site on a week-by-week basis to archive work as it's generated during the digital workshops, but also during your studio workshops, photographs you take of your work as it's progressing, we can also house onto here. So you could have say for example, ceramics artwork. That doesn't just have to be a final piece, that could be the journey, the narrative of all the work you've done with Leah, or this could be all the work you've done with Martin, and this is potentially all the work you do with me, and with me again here. So it's another place to adding value, but it's also, this is a professional standard piece of software, industry standard piece of software, so it's really important that you understand how this works. You may need to design websites at some point, depending on what field of creative industries you go into. So being familiar with this as an application is really useful. Okay, brilliant. Let's stop there. Thank you very much for engaging, and don't forget, live the creative dream. Thank you very much. It's been Jason Jones, signing out.